So, ideological lines have been drawn when it comes to the battle of the supposed Don't Say Gay bill between conservatives and liberals and independents and so forth. When it comes to Disney standing on the side of really, and I know people get offended by this, but it's a grooming bill. It's an absolute grooming bill. I think if people actually took the time to read, I think it's only like a 7-page bill. I've read it. I think if they take the time to read it, you will probably realize maybe, just maybe, I don't want to be on the side of taking up for this, or taking up for the side of grooming when it comes to this. Because that's exactly what it is. I mean, who on earth wants their kindergarten through third grader have the teacher of their child having sexual conversation about sexual identity and just sexualization in general, and then adding on top of that, don't tell your parents that we're having this conversation. That is just absurd to me in so many different ways. It's really offensive to me as a parent. Because, like I said, I don't care if I agree or disagree with anything. I do not want a teacher or a stranger or programming like Disney indoctrinating my child with specific beliefs. Even if it's beliefs I agree with, I don't feel like kindergarten through third grade is a time when you push these beliefs on children. Look, as far as a parent is concerned, I am a big proponent of I will guide my kids, and I want to be somebody that they look up to. And if that guides their ways to their ways being my ways, then that's great. Of course, I'm going to tell them wrong from right. And there's certain things that Hollywood does that is absolutely and totally wrong. I am not a fan of the sexualization of women that they do. I am not a fan of the class system that they are constantly trying to impose about, Will Smith can go up there and punch somebody on the face in national television and get an Oscar for it. But yet the average person would be thrown in prison for, I don't know, years probably if they went and they attack somebody in the same manner. That is ridiculous. It shouldn't matter if you're rich or poor or whatever. You should be completely and totally against that kind of behavior. I mean, they're constantly, Disney and just Hollywood in general are constantly trying to sexualize children. They're trying to push agendas, political agendas that really have no place in children's entertainment, period, and totally. And I'm absolutely shocked about this poll that I'm about to read simply because it's divided upon party lines. And that to me is absolutely absurd. Like I have never come across a Democrat that would want their child a teacher to be having a talk with their kindergartner about sexualization at all. And then to add that on top of it is to basically say, don't tell your parent that we don't have to tell your parents about this specific conversation. I don't know a single parent, depending upon their party lines or whatever, that would ever be in favor of that. Ever be in favor of that. I mean, and that's the reason why, to a certain extent, I believe a lot of people on this issue are absolute liars. They are either so indoctrinated themselves that they don't even realize what they're trying or what they're allowing or what they're proposing in a lot of different ways. Or they just are they think that this is an LGBTQ argument, and it's not. This absolutely has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. They're trying to make it into that, but it has nothing to do with this. This has to do with really perverted teachers wanting to talk about students about things that a kindergarten through third grader shouldn't know in the first place. So let me just, before I go on a larger rant, let me just go ahead and read this. I'm just going to quickly read this poll real quick. A new Issues and Insights TIPP poll that questioned 1,305 adults across America shows the distrust of Disney's programming for children is growing among Republicans and independents. When a subset of the group, 584 people who indicated they had been following the news regarding Disney's opposition to the Florida bill, were asked if they still have faith in Disney's programming, nearly half, 41%, said they either don't trust the company at all or have little trust at all. Now, this is kind of an interesting poll. I wish that it was more people that was involved. They questioned 1,305 adults, but it says right here there's a subset group here of 584 individuals who were actually paying attention to this. So the other 600 people weren't even aware of it or wasn't following the issue altogether. So their idea of things might be completely different. I wish they would have read the actual bill to each one of these people and then got their take on it. And I believe that the results, whether it be Republican or Democrat, would be totally different. Because like I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again, I do not care what these businesses or what these channels are promoting. I do not care if I agree with it 110%. I do not feel like it is their business to indoctrinate my children. I don't even feel like it's my business to indoctrinate my child. I just try to be a good example for my child. I try to teach them right from wrong and hope that they follow in my footsteps. And if they don't, I just hope they're decent, good human beings that don't fall into these traps of following party lines and falling in line with crazy things like a lot of people are doing. They're not reading this bill, and so therefore they're believing what the media is telling them. That to me is ridiculous. As an adult, you should be aware of things. You should be able to read a 7-page bill. You just should be able to. If you're not able to do that and you're a parent and you're just entrusting your child to, Disney or whoever it may be, I'll just come out and say it. I think you're an absolute idiot. I absolutely think you're an idiot. Now, if you want them to watch it, that's fine, but at least be aware of what they're watching. That's all I've got to say on that issue, and that doesn't matter if it's Disney or anybody else. Like, if you're not watching what your children are watching and you're completely unaware of what these programs are showing children, I think that's absolutely crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe the other day I was watching a Nickelodeon commercial and they were talking about Cardi B. And I'm like, is that seriously something that we want on Baby Shark? Cardi freaking B? Or, I mean, come on. I mean, again, these are things that I feel like even if you're a Democrat or Republican, that you would be completely in lockstep with. That you wouldn't want no part of that. But you know what? Maybe I just have a very flowery kind of view on things, and I'm not living in the real world and seeing just how crazy things are actually becoming. But anyways, let's go on and finish reading this real quick. It says the answers were split by party, with Republicans showing 70% distrust in Disney and independents showing a 52% distrust in the brand. In contrast, Democrats showed an overwhelmingly 77% trust in the company, split between those saying they have a lot of trust and quite a bit of trust at all. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to this bill in general, I feel like, man, if there is actually people out there that actually are in favor of somebody, I guess, of course I say that, but people are actually in favor of sexualizing children, which I think is absolutely absurd. think it's abhorrent. I think it's absolutely abhorrent. I mean, look at what Netflix did, for goodness sakes, with cuties. Like, they were thinking that that was okay because the person that directed it had the right, political views. I mean, that to me is absolutely crazy. I just feel like Disney should just completely and stay out of my child's life. That's me. I don't know if I'm going to be letting them watch this in the future. If they do watch something Disney, it's probably going to be the older stuff that I grew up with. It's not going to be any of this newer stuff because, let's face it, anyways, a lot of this new stuff that they're putting out, anyways, is utter crap. It really, truly is. Coco's the only good movie that I've seen from Pixar in a very, very long time as well. So, I mean, I say almost good riddance to Disney. That's the way I feel towards it. I hope Disney um, I hope they pay for it to a certain extent. I hope there's enough people out there that will boycott, but I really don't have much faith that that will actually happen. We got fair weather parents out there. That's just the truth. The sad truth in this world. And, like I said, doesn't matter if they agree or disagree with things. They need to read that bill and they need to not listen what the media has to say with it. They need to make up their own minds. And as far as Disney is concerned, Disney needs to stay out of the lives of children. They need to stop indoctrinating children with this nonsense. That's just me. As always, guys, let me know what y'all think down below. Are y'all at the point where y'all want to boycott Disney? Are y'all surprised that this goes down party lines about trust and mistrust of Disney? I mean, I'm actually kind of saddened by it to a certain extent. But anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think down below. And as always, guys, y'all can find us, find Rants on Rumble and Minds as well. And if you like our content here on Rants please like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. As always, guys, thank y'all for watching. Take care.